So let's fast forward to 16. Because one of the things I wanted to point out is the first time I remember riding with you or driving with you, right?
Yeah.
It's funny because, you know, a minute ago when you were saying about your cousin riding on the back of the bike with you, the thought that crossed my mind is, okay, cousin might have been a little bit crazy. You know what I mean? It's like, why ain't he riding the bike? You know what I'm saying? But it was the same way when you first got your driver's license, because I was riding in the car with you. I wasn't driving the car myself. I was crazy enough to get in the car with you. So I recall the first day that you got your driver's license, which you already know what story I'm gonna tell. The first day that you got your driver's license, you had an accident, a minor accident. It wasn't major. It was funny, actually. Were you ever, you know, how did you, okay, you lost your sight at 7. By 16, and through surgeries and procedures, once you moved to Virginia, you were able to get part of your sight back, enough so that you were given a driver's license. Were you ever fearful to get behind a car, the wheel of a car? A car is not like a bike. A bike, you fall, you skin your knees or whatever. But a car, you can freak around, you can mess around and kill yourself, man. So were you ever, you know, did you ever have any fear? You're not a child anymore. Like you said, children are fearless. But you're 16 now, and you're old enough to know. You know, were you ever fearful in that situation?
You know, my life has been heavily inundated with, I can do that. You know, like that's all I've ever thought in my life. I can do that. If I thought that, I'm not going to turn around and think otherwise. I'm not even going to second guess what I innately, what I thought. You know, I hope that makes sense.
Like I'm not wondering how the freak you do that.
Well, you know, it's like and once again, like I say, a lot of what happened in my, and this is what's important about, you know, rearing children and that whole kind of thing, because they definitely have to, and I'm guilty of this, right? Like I find myself sometimes doing stuff for my kids that that they can totally do, that they should be doing. And I'm like, yeah, no, I got it. And, you know, it's like you really do more harm when you do that than not, you know. And I know, you know, it's like, nah, I'm not sure you how to do it. After a while, they start to depend on you to do it.
Yeah.
And that's where the harm comes in. And now, but over to what we were just talking about, which is massive to me. If I thought in the first place that I could do it, like I said before, I'm not going to turn around and say, well, maybe I can't do that. And that comes from me walking across a campus, you know, as a blind person. I could walk to that class. I could do this. I could do that. I could do this. That comes from me, like I said, throwing a baseball, you know, down the hallway, straight as an arrow. That comes from riding a bicycle. That comes from playing basketball as a blind person with a ticker indicator up at the basket to let you know where the basket is at. Running into the pole, you know, that kind of thing. That comes from
your head is so big.
Yeah, well, the forehead mainly, you know.
That's a joke.
Yeah, the forehead mainly, you know. That was my bumper, like a car, you know. So, you know, what did I think about getting into a car, pressing a gas pedal, putting it in gear, pressing the gas pedal? You know, I thought nothing of it because I could see good enough, you know, during the daytime. When that night, it was more difficult in the dusk than it was pitch black outside, because at least pitch black, it was like contrast.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, but at dusk, it was like everything was like gray. You know, and so that would be the only time that I would be any type of fearful to drive.
Wow, that's amazing, man. I know right now in my own life, I'm a pretty confident person. And whenever I feel a lack of confidence coming on, I think I'm doing the same thing that you're doing, which is remembering my accomplishments in the past. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I have done this before. I have done this before. I've done some really, really difficult things before. And sometimes that'll boost my confidence. But I unlike what you said, it's like, you said a minute ago, once I think I can do it, I'm not even going to waste time, doubting whether I think I can do it or not. I would love to have some of that. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm a pretty confident person, but it's like a lot of the times, man, sometimes I feel like it's like I can't, the worst feeling in the world is to feel like you can't do what you want to do. You know what I mean? And I deal with that sometimes. You know what I mean? I do second guess my decisions sometimes. So I'm just amazed that you know what I mean? You could just decide in your mind, okay, I can do it, and then never look back. That's amazing.
Well, one thing that I've adopted definitely in my life is, well, two things. One thing is I'm never wrong, right? There are never any mistakes to be made. Okay. And then number two, I look not externally for confirmation. All my confirmation comes within me, for whatever I do. And to, add a little bit of clarity to the first statement, because I know some people will be like, well, you don't make any mistakes. Whoa, hey, hold up, man.
I was about to ask you about that.
Yeah. No mistakes are made because my intention it doesn't allow that, Jainism speaks to that, it speaks to motion, and the motion can of objects, will dictate intention, or intention will dictate motion. How you want to, I guess intention will dictate motion. I guess the best way to say it, because if it's intended for a certain thing, then that is what's going to happen. Now, the steps that goes into achieving that is what's going to be crucial. You know what I mean? Because, it's like, well, if I want to make a living at being a clown, well, I'm definitely probably not going to, I don't think I'm going to, go out and start digging a ditch. Learn how to start digging a ditch.
Has nothing to do with being a clown.
Right. I'm not going to put my time into that. That's not my intention, is to be the best ditch digger. I am going to learn about paint. First of all, I'm going to learn about myself. I'm going to learn about my skin. I'm going to learn about my chemistry. So when I start applying these chemicals to my face, as far as the paints, the makeups, the things like that, that my skin reacts, pleasantly. Clothes. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be one of the most unique clowns around. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at what's lacking. I'm going to look at the problem, and provide a solution. And that is everything. That's everything. So my entire life is solution based. It's always about the solution. I could care less about the problem. I don't care about the problem. The problem, you think about that too long, that's a problem, right? So you'll be stacking problems on problems. You think about the problem for a couple of minutes, come up with the solution. And so, it's like in playing drums and playing basketball and playing sports. Sports, I said basketball, acting, being a financial analyst, whatever it is, you do the things that are going to be sufficient. That's going to help you obtain that goal. And that stuff to me is what that's more what I concentrate on. And so I just don't, like I said, I don't think it's enough. I don't have enough real estate in my mental, in my mind. I just don't have enough real estate for
worry and doubt.
Yeah, negativity and doubt and that whole kind of thing. Sometimes I'm human, right? Like I'm living in a system. And I do, sometimes I get down, I said, man, man, I sucked in that. Oh, geez, man, I shouldn't have did that like that. But that's a micro percentage to the other side of the, you know.
Yeah. And then it's a process as well. Like, you're not going to get it right the first time you do it. It is a matter of continuously going back and going back. So whereas you might have set out to, this sounds like what you're saying, whereas you might have set out to do something, first time you try to do it, you might not get the result that you aimed for. But like you said, you're never wrong because you're learning from it all. It's all a process, and you're going to take whatever experience you had the first time you do it and build on it the second time that you do it, so that each time you get more and more proficient and efficient. Is that kind of what you're speaking of, what you're addressing here?
Yeah. And to be a lot more direct is, hey, you know, I'm never wrong because my intentions are what they are. But I seek not external confirmation. That's what makes it key. You know, some people will look for that external confirmation.
Others to tell them they did a good job.
Just to tell them that they did a good job, but to affiliate themselves with accomplishments.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, you know, so I did a great thing, and this is an example. I did a great thing, or would perceive to be a great thing, but no one said that I did a great thing. So the fact that I didn't get that response, that report back saying you did a great thing, I automatically then go to, I need to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
To then, because I haven't accomplished what I set out to accomplish.
Which is that confirmation from outside of you.
Right. But that thing that you did, everything leading up to that, the preparation to that, was just as great as that one thing.
I get that.
Does that make sense? So
totally.
So it's like the breakfast that you ate the day that you threw 3 touchdowns. You know that was just as important as the 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. And so was the time that you woke up and the time you went to bed.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I'm saying. So the accomplishments to me mean zero.
Yeah.
I could care less about that.
Facebook Live, if you're just tuning in, I'm interviewing a friend of mine, Byron Harden, and I titled this Facebook Live, and I'm going to title a YouTube video, What a Blind Man Can Teach Us About Vision. My friend Byron Harden lost his sight when he was 7 years old, regained his sight through procedures and surgeries when he was 16 years old, and lost his sight again as an adult in his late 30s. And now he owns and operates, he's CEO of, he basically has a business where he trains blind people and hearing impaired people on audio production and studio engineering. And so he has taken his circumstance that he has been given, his loss of his sight, and not only has he dealt with it successfully, and I say successfully because if you listen at the guy, you can hear his spirits are up. So I call him a success because of that reason. But not only has he done that within him, his own self, he's turned that circumstance into a situation where he can now help dozens and thousands of other people. And that's exactly what he's doing as CEO of IC Music.